Hey there, I'm here in comfy jammy mode actually, and I thought I'd basically do a follow-up to something that I did earlier and do something that I haven't done in a while. Earlier I did a Slumber Party Massacre review and for the trilogy, and I said it was something that everybody should pick up if they're a horror fan, a cheesy fan, or a slasher fan. I stand by that, and right now I'm going to give you some more kind of recommendations, but they're tentative recommendations based on the fact you know this. Some of these are actually pretty cheesily bad films, but I think they deserve a second look. Some of them because they're so bad they're good, and others because I just don't think they got the right knock first time around. Don't worry, I will let you know which ones are which. So without further ado, let's start this list. Some of these movies I'm going to be reviewing this month, so if there's any that particularly catch your interest, feel free to comment down below and ask, say, yo, Uncle Aaron, review those. First up is Scalps. Mood 616 knows exactly the pain that this movie gives you. It is fairly bad. And when I mean fairly bad, it is really, really bad. But there is something charmingly awful about this movie that kind of makes you watch it. And over again, this is not by any stretch of the imagination a good movie. Don't let me fool you into thinking, because this is an awesome cover. Yes, it does, doesn't it? That this is some Lost, Tales of Ozzy type classic. It's not that. It's a bad movie, but it pretty much is the type of bad movie that it just revels in its badness. And if you like that type of film, and if you don't mind cheesy bad stuff, then Scalps is a movie you should really look out for. It's this is actually a pretty good addition, and the commentary on this, well, I'll get into it more later on down the road, but let's just say commentary alone, this movie's worth it. Scalps, definitely give it a check. Next one, what's the two that were put together on a Scream set, and neither one of these were known in the day for being overly great films. One did get a little bit more publicity than the other one, and that was pretty much because of the actor. But they are X-Ray, otherwise known as Hospital Massacre, and Schizoid. Both of these films, just put out recently in a double feature from Scream Factory, are actually pretty fun films. X-Ray is, the killer's horrible, let's face it, but it's cheesy 80s slasher, and this isn't The Burning, this isn't Halloween 2, but it's fun. Barbie Benton is cute as hell, and it's just a fun film. And Schizoid, I think, is just an underrated film. There are some great actors in this film, and it's got a much bigger cast than you would imagine. We have Klaus Kinski, of course, Crawl Space, Mariana Hill, Donna Wilkes, Craig Wasson, Christopher Lloyd. It has one hell of a cast. I mean, this is kind of like a little murder mystery thriller slasher film, and definitely worth picking up. This is a set that should be in your collection if you're a slasher horror fan at all, and I think it's highly underrated. Good features, by the way, too. Next up is one that always gets hated on. I mean, always. It is the redheaded stepchild of this series, and it's Psycho 3. Psycho 3 is pretty much the tongue-in-cheek slasher film. Whereas Psycho was the suspense movie, Psycho 2 was the sequel by with Richard Franklin, the guy that was Australian Hitchcock, who did Road Games. Psycho 3 is the one that gets crapped on the most. And Psycho 3 is a fun movie. There's no real giant guessing work here and who the psycho is in this one. We kind of know it's Norman. And he has fun with it. You can see that Anthony Perkins is having one hell of a good time with this film. It's cheesy. It is very much the product of its time. It's very much a slasher film. I've got Jeff Fahey in this one here as well, by the way. Just one of those movies that highly, highly underrated. I just don't know why this one gets so much hate. It's a fun film. Next up are two from a trilogy. Well, not trilogy, two from the franchise. And one is this one, Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Jeff Burr's sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, to me, is actually it's far superior to part two. I'm sorry, I really, part two is fun and all, but for what it is, but no, I really did prefer part three to part two. Like the actors in this one better. We got, of course, we got William Butler in this one here, and Viggo Mortensen, Kate Hodge, Ken Foray. It's got a great cast. The girl that plays the little girl in this one here is the girl that plays the little girl in Friday the 13th Part 7. And of course, kind of the dad character, played by Butler, is also the one of the characters in this movie as well. So it's kind of a Friday the 13th Part 7 reunion of sorts, a mini reunion anyway. And it's one to watch. The next one is much more controversial. This isn't a good movie. This isn't remotely a good movie. There's a lot of pain in this movie. Unintentional. But Renee Zellweger, she actually does okay in this role. But who stood out? Matthew McConaughey to me. He is such an over-the-top, just character for this thing with the bum leg and the remotes. I can't take it seriously. I don't know if it's meant to be taken seriously. The ending is complete and utter crap. Is this a favorite of mine? No, but for some reason it's one that I can put on and just watch. It's just bad. It's really bad, but that is extra, I don't know, the chromosome of me that kind of like draws me to these type movies. Gotta say, at least give it a chance and go pick up the Lionsgate Uncut Edition, not the other ones. The uncut one, get the uncut ones, worth it. I mean, I bought this for like dirt cheap, and love the cover. Love the cover. I know it's not a good movie, guys. So don't go in expecting me to say, okay, here's a good movie that you're suddenly going to be suddenly going to love this movie. You're not. You're probably not going to love this movie when you see this, but just be open-minded and maybe have fun with it. I do. I do to this day. But I also watched Leprechaun in Space. Next up is Black Xmas, which almost seems like sacrilege considering Black Christmas is my favorite slasher movie of all time. But Black Xmas is a horrible, horrible, horrible movie. The deaths, however, are really cool. The icicle death, brilliant. The fact that Bart Simpson's pretty much the killer in this movie, not so brilliant. This movie is one that you keep wanting to get better and to be good. It has a gorgeous cast of some very, very attractive females. The kills are so well done in this that you just want to love it so much, but you can't because the movie keeps taking that love away from you. Not a good movie at all by any stretch of the imagination, but it's the thrilling to see some cute girls and some deadly kills and try and let your brain forget the badness that is the rest of the movie. I think it's worth it if you're a slasher fan. If this isn't in your collection, for the kills, put it in there. This one doesn't need a lot of explanation, I don't think, so I'm not going to give it a lot. I actually like this movie, so not everybody does. I actually thought this was fun, and found it hard to get. I have a very this company called Substance that puts out a lot of kind of rarish stuff, but cheap ass versions of them. But to get them out there, don't open until Christmas. If you don't know about it, maybe I'll review it this time during Halloween. But I just had fun with it. It's a twisted movie stars Carolyn Monroe, of course, and just had a lot of fun with this movie. I gotta say, this is one of those really just fun. I like Santa Claus killer holiday movies, especially killer Christmas movies. My favorites, of course, are Black Christmas and Silent Partner. If you haven't seen Silent Partner, Elliot Gould, Christopher Plummer, Psycho Santa, Bank Robbery. Check it out. The next one is one that I do like a lot, and make no qualms about liking this movie. I know that it gets a lot of hate, and I think it deserves about zero amount of that hate. Valentine. This is the one that I probably am going to be reviewing. It's one that I haven't seen in a while, that I did enjoy when I watched it again. It was a real throwback to the slashers of the 80s, and you don't get that a lot. I mean, they come in and they screamify stuff and do a noise dealer summons, and but this was actually more of a throwback. This was very cheesy. There was some decent kills in this, and definitely an attractive cast, that's for sure. But it was, I don't know, something about this. It reminded me of those old bargain basement ones that you'd find on like on the shelf, and it would have like a decent cover, and you'd be like, "Do I want to give this one a chance?" Well, you do. This is kind of cool. Check out Valentine. Much trepidation, I say the next one, because this one is not a good movie either. No two ways about it. Is this a good movie? Some people love this movie. I think it's cheesy fun. I don't think it's a good film. I don't think it's an actually well made or well written film. But I really like the truck, and the soundtrack kicks ass. Maximum Overdrive. Yes, I do have the original Anchor Bay. Maximum Overdrive is based on Stephen King's short story Trucks, and it is a fun little film. I really enjoyed it. And who made who? The soundtrack, this is incredible. The next one is one that should be on everybody's list, and it should be in your collection. If you don't have your collection, shame on you, because this actually is a really well done horror film. Very atmospheric, creepy, and just really, really cool. And I've mentioned this one on my channel before, but I've really got to do a really good review of this one on the road. And that's Scarecrows. Not Scarecrow Goes Wild or anything like that, but the movie Scarecrows, the '88 film Scarecrows, a really freaking good film. It's basically these criminals pull off this big heist, get on a plane, parachute down, end up in the wrong field. This is cool, trust me. Over your 31 Days of Halloween, let this be one of the ones you watch. Seriously, look at that. Do you want to see it? Next two are part of a killer double feature, literally. And I'm not going to say much about these, because if you don't have them in your collection, get them. If you're a slasher fan, if you're a 80s horror fan, these are fun films. They get bitched on in a lot of press. Going to Pieces gave them a very small mention and made very little of them, but you know what? Shag that. I liked it. Bad Dreams with Jennifer Rubin, and of course Visiting Hours with Shatner, and well, one of my crushes, and at the time, Linda Pearl. Of course, Michael Ironside's the killer in this one. Great actor, Michael Ironside. Fantastic double feature. You gotta really check it out. There's some really great features on this here. Richard Lynch is in Bad Dreams, by the way. A wonderful film. If you haven't checked this one out, if you don't have it in your collection yet, this killer double features are really awesome to get. Bad Dreams gets an alternate ending in it. Check it out. Right now, I gotta go grab some tea. I made my jammies, might as well get comfy. Thanks for watching, guys, and hope you like this one. This one's probably may go on both sites, the Horror Globe and my other one. Depends on how much time I got. Thanks for watching, because right now it is time for tea.